So here we start talking about the Beatitudes. And over the next few days, I'd like to break each one of them down. You know, we live in a world that often seeks to fill itself with pride, accomplishments, and self-sufficiency. But Jesus, in his wisdom, calls us to the opposite. He calls us to embrace a profound spiritual poverty. Matthew 5:3 says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." In a world that values strength, self-sufficiency, and accumulation, Jesus elevates the poor in spirit. This phrase, poor in spirit, sounds almost contradictory to what we usually associate with blessings or happiness. The world tells us to be rich, to be powerful, to be proud, and to be in control. Yet Jesus says the opposite. He pronounces blessings upon those who acknowledge a profound spiritual poverty. So what does it mean to be poor in spirit? First, let's clarify what poor in spirit does not mean. It does not mean lacking material wealth. While Jesus often spoke of the dangers of riches, this beatitude is not about financial status. One could be materially poor and spiritually arrogant, or materially wealthy and genuinely poor in spirit. It does not mean a lack of intelligence or ambition. It's not about being weak-minded or lazy. It's about a spiritual posture, not a mental capacity. It does not mean a low self-esteem or self-depreciating attitude. While humility is involved, poor in spirit isn't about wallowing in unworthiness or having a perpetual negative view of oneself. It's about an accurate view of oneself in relation to God. So what does it mean to be poor in spirit? To be poor in spirit, we are humbly aware of our spiritual bankruptcy, and we are completely dependent on God. When we realize our own spiritual poverty, we understand our utter dependence on Him for everything, for salvation, for strength, for wisdom, for righteousness. We cease to rely on our own efforts, achievements, or innate goodness. It also means empty of self-righteousness and pride. This is the opposite of the Pharisees who prided himself on his obedience to the law. The poor in spirit do not boast in their works or their religious performance. They understand that every good thing comes from God alone. So how do we cultivate this blessed state of being poor in spirit in our daily lives? We do it through daily confession and repentance. We do it through regular prayer and dependence. We embrace humility in relationships and by focusing on God's greatness, not our own. This sets us apart in the world. When we are poor in spirit and we rely on God, people can see that in our lives, and it makes a difference in the world. Thank you.